shared their stories in caves, connected art, nature, and science, led us toward new horizons. Who thought to capture motion, spark an engine to life, turn television into a playground? Every day, you create the playful, the functional, and the unexpected. You break down walls and take us to astonishing places. Tell stories, leap borders, and create beauty for tomorrow. Because at Unity, we believe the world is a better place with more creators in it, where everyone has a chance to shape the world.
Happy Friday to all of our fans and enthusiasts across South APAC. Who's South APAC? Well, it's Greater India, Southeast Asia, and Australia, New Zealand, and Pacific. And just some tips for today's interaction in the webinar. Please don't use chat to ask questions. Please place your questions in the Q&A box if you're joining us on Zoom. If you're joining us on another social media platform, you may ask your questions there. And if you're joining us from Zoom, we do not use the raise hand function in today's webinar, and it'll be about 75 minutes duration after my introduction. Unity is being used in a multitude of industries, not just inside games, but in architecture, engineering, construction, the automotive, transportation, and manufacturing industries, in education, in robotics, in simulation, in film and television, and many more ways that industries are finding how to use our technology to advance their cause. And if you're joining us today, why not think about Unity certification? To have a career in many of those industries, whether it's in gaming or any of those other industrial sectors, Unity certification will help you to be employed across all of those sectors. Recently, we acquired Weta Digital. That is the special effects company responsible for such titles as Lord of the Rings, the new Batman movie, and also the new Doctor Strange movie. We also recently acquired Ziva Dynamics, which made ultra-realistic humans powered by artificial intelligence and AI. Stay with us to the end today. We will give a survey form. One of our lucky registered attendees will win a Unity swag pack. You can see it there on the left. And if you are joining us on social media, on YouTube or any of the other streaming services that you can see on screen right now, please scan the QR code to register if you would like to be in the draw to win one of these prizes. And if you haven't quite got your phone out ready, it's coming up again on the next screen. There's the QR code if you haven't had the chance to scan that yet. And here are some of our recent winners who've had swag packs, and we've just sent a whole batch out last week. So if you're still waiting for yours, it is on the way. Today we have Introduction to Game Foundation. We've just completed a three-part series on building 2D games. If you joined us for that, I hope you enjoyed it. But if you want to watch it again, it is on demand. And you should get that in the email after today's webinar, or just check our Unity-ANZSEA pack page. Today's session we're joined with our field engineers from across the region. And the session was pre-recorded to optimize for quality, and we're reusing some content, which we delivered at the end of last year. So we hope you enjoy. We'll see you in a little while, and please place your Q&A in the Q&A box, and there'll be a lucky winner for today's best question as well. Take it away.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar today about game foundation. My name is Hoàng, field engineer of Unity Technologies based in Vietnam. The agenda today, we will talk about what is game foundation, right? Basically, it's a common game system that we build to resolve some common issue while you're making games or application. And we'll see a brief overview of game foundation, and then we'll see a demo. Then we will go back to the slide and see what is coming up, and then a Q&A session. So what we've heard from the communities in general, when they start building a new game, is that they will have to consistently reinvent the wheel for a common game system before making a unique gameplay, right? Or even after making the unique gameplay, then they will have to deal with those kind of issue, right? And it's also hard to design a generic system to be flexible enough and easy to maintain over the time, right? And in Unity, we don't have standardization for common game system, for example, the wallet, the inventory system, the currency system, etc. Right? And it also time consuming for the developer to build those systems and connect with the backend uh, on the server. So the game foundation offers some pre-built game system that you are using very commonly, and they are easy to extend and very flexible, so that you can be more focused on building the unique gameplay. Um, so here on the screen you can see um, that we provide a Unity engine, so that and then you will do the unique gameplay by implement your own logic. And then in the middleware, you will have to usually build those common game system, for example, the inventory, the currency, the shop, the store, rewards, stats, property, etc. Right. So game foundation will try to help you with this as well, right? Besides the Unity engine already take over a lot of parts for you, then we try to take over this part as well. And and this system will also have this ability, so that you can do live update after your game go live. You can do analytics, you can do alpha beta testing and experiments with your game, with the features in the game, to see what works and what not. You can also save the user data in the cloud. You can also support the offline play. So what is available today in Game Foundation as of version 0.9.0 preview 3? We have the inventory manager, we have the wallet manager, we have the transaction manager, reward manager, and we provide some UI prefabs so that you can quickly drag and drop and see the result. We also integrate with Unity in-app purchase from the version 3.0 and above. We support the older version before, but now we deprecate the support and only focus on the 3.0 and above. So let's see the demo. So here is the Dragon Pressure project that you can download from the Asset Store. It's a 2D game we recently released, and today I will add some backend functionality into it. For this kind of game, it's easy to spot that the backend system behind the scene will have to manage the list of characters in the game, right? And each character has some ability. For example, the health, the mana, the damage, right? The damage it can cause to the enemy, right? And in this kind, right? So here's the result that I have built beforehand. We can go to the shop. We can buy the character. For example, I can buy the chariot. He costs he costs 500 coins. So here's I cannot buy him yet because I don't have enough coins, so I can go to the currency and lend some coin, right? Beside the coin, we also have the diamond as a currency, right? Usually in the game, you will want to have more than one currencies for the economic balance. One kind is usually can only be acquired using the real in-app purchase, the real money, and the other kind is usually used to spend inside the game and can be earned from the game. In this case, the coin, a diamond. And then I can buy a character. I can buy this character. His name is Charek, and he has some properties, some attributes. He, for example, his level is 1, and his initial health is 100. Initial damage it can cause to the enemy is 25, and this is the cost to upgrade him to the next level. And then here is Chorchia. She costs 600 diamonds, right? You can also buy the Wolfman. So each whenever I buy another a new character, they will appear in my inventory. I have the inventory to keep all of my items, all of my characters in the game. Here I can buy some other items. For example, the health potion. I can buy some health potion. This one actually is a pack of 5. It's a pack of 5 health potion. The text for trinket. Right, there we go. Right, we can buy. Then we can buy some weapons. The sword level 1 it costs some amount of coin, but the sword level 2 costs some amount of diamond. And also you can have a crafting system by combining 5 sword level 1 and you will get 1 sword level 2, right? Alright, so yes, the system is that simple enough. So let's see something we need to get from the game design. So for a characters, right? These are the very basic attribute. The name, the icon, the description about it, and the cost per unit. So we are going to implement this using game foundation. So here's my empty project. First, in order to install game foundation, you need to voice volume. Sorry, my voice seems to be not loud enough. Okay, so in order to install game foundation, you go to package manager. You need to find the game foundation here, and you can only see it if you already turn on preview packages by clicking this gear button. You can choose advanced project setting. Then in the package manager setting, you can enable preview package here, right? So the version I'm installing is 0.9, and you can also install some sample package in this page as well. some tutorial, very basic tutorial to get you started. Okay, so after install the package, in the window you will have game foundation menu item, and here are the window so that you can create the the item for the system. Sorry. Okay, so to get started, first we'll need to create a catalog. You can right click on the project, choose create, head over to game foundation at the bottom and select catalog access. Let's name it demo catalog. And then you need to go to window, game foundation, head over to setting, catalog setting, so that you can see this is the setting, right? You can then drag the catalog you just created into this slot, so that the game foundation system will use the data in this catalog. Then we can start creating some items. Go to figure window, game foundation again, select inventory item. So the idea now is to create a item definition for our characters, right? So I'll click plus button here, and then we can create a first character named Charlotte, and this is the key, right? We can keep it or we can modify it, and I will choose not stackable, create. So in this window we can give him some static properties, right? The icons, the name, the description, and the cost to upgrade and the cost to purchase the item. So first the name is already here, so then we will need the description. The value type is string. So here we can support several kind of property type, integer, double, float, boolean, string, and then resource asset and addressables. Next, let's give him an icon, and for the icon I will choose the type to be resources assets. Description, what else? The cost, right? So the cost we will keep it later. So first the description is alright, so this is the text we can put in here, and for the icon we can select one of the sprite that is inside the resources folder. Remember, for this kind of attribute properties, right, the assets will need to reside in the resources folder. So here I have some sprites, some images already in the resources folder, and this is him, Charek. Let's drag and drop it to the slot, or you can select the assets right from this menu, right? Okay, and that's enough. We can start the game, but before starting the game we will need to create game foundation game object in the scene, right? We can do that by right click in the hierarchy, select game foundation, select initializer. It will automatically create for us a game object with this component attached, right? For so game foundation init is a component that game foundation provides, so that it will automatically initialize the game foundation system for you. And here is the parameter you can set to it. You can decide whether the data will be stored locally in the storage, or it will only appear at runtime in the memory and vanish when you stop the games. So for the sake of this example, I will choose memory, and here I can override the catalog access, right? So this will override whatever you have set in the setting before, in this setting, catalog setting. For now we are setting it correctly, but if in the project you have several catalog and you want to override it, then here is the slot. Here's the way to override, right? So now we can try to play the game, try to play the simple scene. It's loading. Okay, so we have no UI yet, but we can still create some item by using the debug window that Game Foundation provides. Right? Tools debugger. Right? You can go to Game Foundation Tools debugger. I will dock it here. Right. So this Windows will provide the debug capability while you're using the Game Foundation system. Right? It will show you all of the items created at runtime. And in this window, I can also create some item by select the drop box here. For now, I only have one character, and he appear here. Add item, right? And when you add the item, it will go into inventory section here, and this is the chart, and each item will have its own ID separate to distinguish the item of the same kind. Right? I can create another chart, and he will have different unique ID as well. Right. Okay, so now we'll come to the part that it costs 200 coin to purchase him. It means that we will need to create the coin currency. So to create a currency, you go to Game Foundation, select the currency button. So we have the currency window, and we can start create a new currency. Let's say coin, and it also have a key. Everything will have its own key in the system. For a coin, for a currency, we can specify whether it's a soft currency or hard currency. This one doesn't really have anything to do with the logic in the Game Foundation system at all, but it's here just to be informative about how you want to use this kind of currency. Usually the soft currency is the currency we can earn and spend in a game, but the hard currency we can only earn by using real money to purchase. So here's the same concept, and we can specify maximum allocation 0 for unlimited, initial allocation. So at the initially we will give the every new user an amount of for example 200 coins, so that it's enough for them to buy something. And we can also specify some properties for the currency. So every currency will need to have its own icon, right? So we'll create an icon property for it, and it will be a resources asset. So here I already have the coin icon, and I will use it. Alright, so we have the item, we have the currency. Next is to create a transaction. Right? we'll go to the game foundation again and select the transaction. Let's create a new transaction. Let's say buy Charlotte. Create. So in this window, you can create a transaction to say, oh, I want to spend 200 coins in order to get the payout of an item, right? So in this case, I want to get Charlotte, and I want to get one of him. And we can also specify some property for this transaction. In this case, I will also have transaction icon, so that in the shop, you can have some image to display. This is to buy character, so I will also use the same image. So we have the transaction. Is a way to convert some items into another kind of item. In this page, you can see that we are using coin, the currency, in return for an item. But it can also be very flexible. Like you can use some item in exchange for some other item, or in exchange for some other kind of currency, which we can leverage to build, for example, crafting system. I can combine several items of the same kind to create a new higher tier item of that kind, right? For example. So next we will need to create a shop, right? We can create a store. We can head over to Game Foundation store. I will dock it here. So by default, Game Foundation create for us a main store. You can also create other kind of store that you want. For example, let's say. Okay, I will create it later. So main in this store, in this section, we can see some transaction created in the transaction window that we can click to add it to this store, right? Okay, and that's enough. Now we can display this store, right? You can go ahead and create a UI and etc. by yourself, but Game Foundation already gives you some very fundamental UI prefabs. You can install the prefab by going to the package window and find the Game Foundation package, right? Game Foundation package here, and you can go to the folder package resources, and here you can install. Double click to install all of the default UI prefabs that we provided. I already installed it, so it is located in this folder, Game Foundation prefabs and UI prefabs store. So I will try to use the store prefab. So the store prefab, you can specify in the store view component. You can specify what store you want to load the item. Here we only have one store. In the future, you can create different kind of store, and in this selection box, you can select the one you are looking for. For example, man, right? I'll keep the tag as is for now. That's look enough. You can try to so let me delete this store and create a canvas first. Okay, let's say it's a landscape view. Right, so and then I will drag and drop the store into the canvas. I will select the store again, which is main. Alright. Okay, now I can play and see the result. Right? Okay, so there is something not right here yet. We cannot see the correct icon, but actually, before you play, you can already preview the things here, right? For example, here, when I select the main store, it can already load up the data in this store, and you can see immediately the transaction by Mark Charek in the editor time. And then if you, for example, create another transaction, for example, by 2 Charek, right here we give 2 Charek. The cost is just 380 coins, so you can save like 20 coins. Then in the store, we'll remember to add the transaction into the store. Right? I usually forgot this. Right. Then here in the editor, you can immediately see the transaction edit for preview purpose. Right. So in the store view, we can see there is a property called icon asset property. Here we can select the transaction icon so that you can immediately see the icon appear here. The price icon, we can select the icon of the currency, so the coin icon appear here. And yes, that's look good for now. We can play test it. Okay, so we can buy him, not yet, because we don't really have any coins, right? We can head over to the wallet. Well, actually, we already bought 1 Charek because we give every new user initially 200 coins, right? So it's just enough to buy 1 Charek. Then we can, in this debug window, we can modify the value here. For example, I can give him more coin, let's say 1000 coin, and then I can buy this item, and you see the coin get deducted correctly. It's a bit inconvenient to see the coin in this debug window, right? Then we can use another prefab to show the currency. It's located in the HUD folder, and this is the currency HUD. I will drag and drop it into the canvas, right? Okay, so the currency HUD, we can specify this field will show the information of what currency. I select the coin and the icon of it, and then we can play again. And
Hey Huang, your volume is a little bit soft. Is there anything you can do about it?
oh, it's soft right now. How about now? Can you hear me?
Now it's better. Now it's better.
Okay, I try to keep my microphone.
It's soft again.
Oh, is that strange? How about now?
Yeah, now it's good.
Okay, okay. I think I will try to speak louder. So please interrupt if it's very soft at any time. Um, okay, so I click play and we can see the currency hub display the correct amount of coin I have for a moment, and if I change this number, then it can reflect it correctly. Alright, so next I think we will want to have another item in the shop in order to acquire the currency easier, right? We'll go to the transaction window. We'll create a new transaction. Let's say coin 500. So in this, I will give the user 500 coins and without any requirement. So generous. And in this another one, oh, and also give it an icon, right? Transaction icon, result, coin icon, and then I can right click on this item that I create to duplicate it to quickly create another item of the same kind. So this one I will give him not 500 but 2000 coin. 2000 coin payout, and in the store I can add this item into the main store, right? And just right in the editor we can see those items appear, right, with the price of free, and we can play to test it. Right, this one will give me another 500 coins. This one will give me another 2000 coins. Correctly, yes. But in the game, right, you usually want to separate the characters into a store and then the coins related into another store, right? We can do this in two ways in game Foundation. The first one is you can leverage the tag system. You can open window game Foundation, the tag management. This is the tag system of game Foundation, right? It has nothing to do with the tag system of the that Unity engine provided, right? This is a totally separate system, right? Let's say we create a tag called unit and another one called currency. And then we can head over to the transaction and we can assign the tag to the transactions. Let's say by direct is unit. You can use the tag section here to assign the tag to an item, right? And in the search box I will type I type U and I can select the tag. This one is also unit, and this one is currency C. This one is currency C, right? So this transaction is the tag is unit. This one is currency, and then in the store, right, and then I can keep it the same like this. So in the canvas, I will create another store. But we'll need some toggle to turn on and off each store separately. Let's say I have a toggle here. Right. Let's say let's call it unit, and this toggle will turn on and off the unit store. Game object set active. I want to make it available at editor time as well. Right, the unit button is look a bit off. Let's fit. Okay. Then I will duplicate a I will create a toggle group very quickly. Just toggle group and add a component toggle group. If you don't know about toggle group, then it will allow you to turn on and off each toggle in the same group, and there will be only one toggle available at a time. Toggle group, drag and drop it here. Then now I will duplicate the toggle and the store. The second toggle is for currency. The first toggle is for unit. The second store is for currency. Right. And in the store currency, I can like use the tag to filter out the item I want to be displayed in this store only. So for this one I will select currency, and for the unit store I will filter out only unit. Now we can this toggle we need to be here. Right. So let's try to play and see. Okay, this one is to be named currency instead of unit. So here we can switch between the sort separately. So this is the first method to separate them into different store. The second method, which is more obviously, is to create a new store. Right here you can create like currency store. In the store window you can create a new store here, and in this store I will just add the transaction related to currency. This one coin 500 and coin 2000. Right, and in the store currency I will select the currency. The tag can be all currency either work well, because in this store I only add the transaction related to currency. So yes, this is the second way you can separate the items. So the tag system, inside information can be used in different windows as well, right? In the inventory item, you can assign a tag to the item. The currency, you can also assign the tag, and the transaction and the store. Right? Everything can be assigned a tag, so that later you can use the tag to filter out the item, the set of item only, right? And in the code, you can accept to them as well. So in the next section, I will briefly go through how we can give the character a property and modify it at runtime. So a character, we usually have the level attribute, the health attribute. For this game, right, he will have the level, he will have health and damage, and we will need to specify the cost to upgrade him per level, right? So we will get back to the inventory item and we will select Character. So in this session, we see that there is a session called multiple properties. So in here we can create some property that can live with the instance and can be modified at runtime. So level is the first property, and it's gonna be integer. The second one is gonna be health. It's also integer, and damage as well. So the level, the initial level gonna be 1, initial health gonna be 100, and initial damage of this character gonna be for example 25. Right, so so create let's see, I will now hit play, and we'll see that those properties appear in the debug window. So let's get some more coins. Get back to the unit. Let's buy Charrette. Let's buy 3 of them, 3 of him. So in the debug window, you can see that in the Charrette section, we have 3 unique items here, and each of them have separate attribute value, right? Level, this we can change this level, right? Runtime. Okay, so for the because there's not much time left, so I will use the example I already created before and explain you how you can access the Game Foundation API at runtime using C#. So in the data folder, I have the catalog that I prepared beforehand. You can set this catalog as the default catalog by going to Window, Game Foundation, setting, catalog setting, and then assign this one to the slot, just like I said before. Or you can right click on it and select Game Foundation here and click this button, use this catalog in Game Foundation catalog settings. Alright, so head over to the inventory item. We see a bunch of items I created beforehand, right? So for example, Charrette, he has 3 multiple property, and then let's try to open the scene demo Game Foundation, and let's play it. Okay, let's get some currency, get some coins, get some diamond in the unit. Let's buy Charrette. We can buy 2 of him, and the item will appear here, right? Buy one Georgia, buy 1 Wolfman, right? We can see the item appear here. So the way you can access to get the list of the inventory items you that you have acquired at runtime is pretty straightforward. I will head over to the code. Here I have the inventory view game object and the component inventory view. In the inventory view, so in the start function, this is the important line of code, right? First, I will check if Game Foundation SDK is already initialized. If yes, then I will try to set up whatever I need to set up, right? If not, then I will listen to the event initialized from Game Foundation, right? So this event will be fired, will be called when Game Foundation after Game Foundation finish initialization. And in the callback function, I will just do some setup of myself, right? And in order to access the list of inventory items, right, we will need to go to the setup function, right? In here, you can access the Game Foundation SDK.inventory.get items and fit in a list of inventory item, and you have the items in this session, right? You will get all of the items in this session, and from that I will create each item and UI element to display in this inventory item view, right? And so firstly is the inventory, where you can get all the items. Secondly, because each item has its own attribute, its own properties, level, health, damage, right? How do we get that, right? So let's see this health attribute. I have a simple script here. The way you have to get the attribute is pretty straightforward. You can just, the item is the inventory item, right? And you can just call, right, get mutable property for the property that is defined in the mutable section in here, or you can get the static properties by using another one, by for the static property, right? You cannot, for the mutable property, you can get it directly from the item, right? From the inventory item. But for the static property, you have to get it from the item definition, right? So what you have in this window is the inventory item definition, right? The definition of the item. But what you have at runtime is the inventory item. But each inventory item will have a property called definition, so that it can link back to its original definition that it was created from, right? So the definition can provide you the method to get a static property, check if this property is, check if it has this property. Key is the string. Okay, so and then how you gonna modify the value at runtime? For example, in the transaction system, it provides us a way to use some coin to buy a chalet automatically, right? But then in your game, right, there will be some moments where you want to at runtime deduct some coin in order to upgrade some property of the character. For example, here I deduct like 38 coins, right, in order to upgrade the level of this character. And while I upgrade the level, right, other attributes of him also change, right? We can see here this character is at level 14, and the health and the damage is already is a lot higher than other characters, right? And in the debug window, you can see the properties is saved for each character separately. So how do we modify the those currency, the currency got deducted and the attribute at runtime? We'll head over to the button upgrade. So in this one, there's a lot of code. Yes, I know, but I will share this code after the webinar for you to dig into. But simply say here, so in order to deduct some currency, you will use this function gamefoundation.wallet.remove and fit in the currency you want to deduct and the amount that you want to deduct, right? So you interact with the wallet system, and in order to modify the property, the mutable property of the items, you will use this function adjust mutable property and fit in the key you want to modify, the value you want to change. It can be a negative number or a positive number. right? So the method is pretty straightforward. Another one I want to show you is that in many cases, right? For example, in this example, we can see that it took 38 coins to upgrade the character for the same, no matter what level he's at, right? So he's at level 63 now. And then to upgrade him to level 64, right, it costs 38 coins. And it's the same 38 coin for all the levels, right? But in real use case, you will want to customize this like the the cost should be increased gradually, right? It cannot be a constant like this. So in game foundation, you can use you can inject custom scriptable object and provide custom method so that it gives you the flexibility for customization. Let's say here I will modify the button upgrade. Now I will not use the cost fix, but I will use the upgrade cost attribute. And let's get back to the inventory item and see the character item. Here you see that in the static property section, I have a property called upgrade cost fix, which is 38 coin per level. But I have another upgrade cost property, which is let's see. Oh no, sorry. This one, upgrade cost 1, right? Upgrade cost 1. The type of it is a resource asset, and currently it is pointing. It's freezing on my machine. So it's pointing to a scriptable object. So in this scriptable object, I have some I have defined some property for it, right? I have the cost range is from 10 to 200. Then the level range is from 0 to 50, and this is a cost curve, right? So from the level 0 to 50, the cost will vary from 10 to 200, and the cost will vary in a curve path and not a linear or a constant, right? So I can specify this, and in the upgrade level, I have a custom method get cost, which can be used at runtime to get the cost. Depends on what level you are looking to upgrade the characters, right? So I reference this scriptable object into this property, and at runtime I can access to this scriptable object, and I can call this get cost method. And the code for doing that is done in the script upgrade property, right? So in here you have the get upgrade cost function. So if the property is long, which is integer, I'll just get the value. But if the properties is the type of the property is resources asset, then I can use this function to get the real object, which is the upgrade level, and then I can call a function of it. So it means that you can inject custom logic, not only constant, but you can inject your custom logic via scriptable object, and it create a lot of flexibility for your own use cases. Alright, so look like that, and in a game foundation system we have went through inventory, item, currency, transaction, store, tag management. There are also the reward system provided that you can use to implement the reward system, right? Daily bonus system, right? Every day the user get back, he will receive an amount of reward. So in the game foundation package, right, there was a sample regarding reward system as well, which is in this sample folder, reward pop-up. And you can go open this in, and you can see that you can examine the demo, right? It took a while for my machine to load it. Right, so this is the reward system, right? You can click the claim button, and then you need to wait. For example, in this example is 60 seconds in order to get the reward for the day 2, right? And the implement and the way you use the system is also simple. I will just quickly show the data in the reward window. So in the reward window, you will declare like a list of reward items. What it gives, right? It can give me a coin, it can give me some item, and then you can specify some description for it. And in the availability section, you can specify the condition, right? The cooldown will be 60 seconds. You can specify that the cooldown will be 1 day or 2 days. And then the expiration, right? Expiration after 30 seconds, if you don't claim it, then you lose it, right? So yes, this so the logic is simple like that, but you can always inject your custom logic by creating like your new property, which can reference to the scriptable object, and in there you can do whatever you want. We can have we also provide like a game parameter window, so that you can define like some constant in a game, some public, some static parameter across the whole game that you're gonna use. Alright, so that's it for the demo. We are running out of time, so here is the I already described in the demo session. So what's next, right? The game foundation system support you to store the data in memory at runtime only, or you can store the data in a local storage. And in the future, we are working to integrate the cloud storage as well. But for now, you can already customize, write your own code to customize the data layer class. Right? We provide the base class, some interface, so that you can inherit and do your own customization, so that you can store your data in the backend in your own server, and you can do it by now. But in the future, we will provide this functionality as is inside the game foundation package. And in the future, we will also do some analytics backend for you as well, right? In the game, you usually want to track, how many items of this kind are sold in a week, in a month, right? So that you can judge which one is the best seller, which one give the best ROI for the game. So we will integrate this kind of analytics into the system, automatic analytics, right, on the day 1 when you create it. And then we'll also have provide remote logic via cloud script on the server as well. And all of these functionality will be integrated with our new service called Unity Gaming Services. It will provide you a comprehensive set of service for your live ops, for your update, for your analytics and experimentation, for your multiplayer game. All of them will be consolidated into this gaming services. Please stay tuned with it.
Excellent. Now it's time for some Q&A. We hope you enjoyed that session today. And I'm going to pass over to Tech in just a second to pick today's best question winner. But in the meantime, please note that the survey will soon appear in the chat channel. It's already there. Thanks, Sarah. Please fill out today's survey form. We'd love to hear your feedback on today's content, and also, what other content you would like to hear about from us in the future. One of today's lucky registered winners will receive this prize pack. It will be drawn about 30 to 60 minutes after the webinar. The winner will receive an email, and they will have 3 working days to get back to us with their address. And Tech, who's today's best question belong to?
Hey, Andy. So we had a bit of a discussion, the team had a bit of a discussion on this, and we're going to go with David Russell, who was asking about multiple wallets and sort of store inventory.
Great. Just give me a second. I'm just trying to locate David while we're in the chat there. Could you maybe talk about which question was his, why his question?
Sure.
Question, and then maybe go over a couple of open ones and any that are relevant to the entire team.
Sure. So David basically asked, so items will be items in game, and the wallet would be specific to a user. This was a follow-up to the previous question. Can you have multiple wallets as well? And can stores have different store IDs to allow for different pricing or production? And a sort of a second part to that question was, can you have store stock, like a store inventory? So basically, like there's Ife answered the first portion, which is that there should be only one wallet, but you can kind of artificially create multiple wallets and filter by ID. And we don't have a bidding system whereby the store inventory question was related to whether you could track essentially a supply and demand system, so you can adjust pricing based on user demand, player pricing, player purchasing patterns. So that's not something that is available out of the box, but it's something that you can extend and add on to. So that applies to both the sort of supply and demand system, as well as actually kind of tracking store inventory. As out of the box, the store only tracks what it sells and the pricing. It doesn't really have a concept of what its inventory is, like how many items are in stock.
And David, thank you. I've received your email address, and congratulations on today's best question. And are there a couple more questions you would like to share with the team that may be beneficial to everybody?
There was actually quite a few. Ife, do you have any good ones? You were pretty busy answering a lot of them.
Okay, if you're joining us on Zoom, all the answered questions will be in the Q&A box under answered. We hope that was beneficial for you. And if there's anything you're missing from today's session, I'm just going to pop a link for the SafePack events email address, which is now there. If there's anything that you were hoping to get answered that you didn't get answered today, please drop us a note on that address, events_SafePack@unity3d.com. It is in the chat window. Congratulations to David on best question for the day, and our lucky draw winner for the attendee who was a SafePack also will be drawn in about 30 to 60 minutes. So please look out for that email, and just remember you've got 3 days to get back to us. And if that's all of the question and answers for today, we thank you very much for joining us and look forward to seeing you same time, same channel, same space next week, and have an awesome weekend ahead. Take care, everybody. Thank you.